Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
And it's cool to like write something, think it sucks for a while.
Next time you meet me in Gate City.
Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Oh, I see the shirt. I see it.
Our friend is Cody, and we not having a good day.
Smack dab in the middle of all that.
Beautifully said, and I love that you said when you have a microphone.
And we were able to do it.
It's about you showing up.
What is your favorite comment that contributes to you?
What up, world? Thank you all for tuning in to Cody Central. Welcome back, welcome home, or welcome for the first time. If it's your first time, every night here is just a little bit different, but we're going to have ourselves a wild night nevertheless. So thank you for sharing your time with us. Let's sit back, lock in. I'm your host, Cody Pope, and this is my co-host, Danny Dimes.
What's up, everyone? As always, if you're tuned in from YouTube, thank you. And please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment to let us know where you're watching from. And don't be afraid to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our uploads. If you're watching from Facebook live stream, thank you as well. And please share this live stream to your page right now or share it with some friends. But either way, drop a comment, let us know where you're watching from as well. And
speaking of supporting the show, we're still seeking sponsors. So if you want to help us elevate the program, we're going to show you a quick little clip on how you can directly support the program, and we'll tell you more about that right after this.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is go to hellhoundpublishing.com. Go to the menu, go find Cody Central, our show. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a bunch of different donation options. Each one will have some really cool stuff that you get. Go to checkout, tell me what you want me to promote, cash out, simple as that.
Before we get things started, I just wanted to let you guys know that I've got some new performance dates. I'm dropping new dates like every week right now. I'm super excited. You can catch me May 22nd at Canvas in Fitchburg, Mass. with my live band, The Keyholders. May 29th at New Hampshire Vintage Vinyl in Laconia, New Hampshire. We're doing a free show with I9 and DJ Myth. May 30th, I'm going to be at Sugarcane Alley in Boston with the incredible Chuck, SETI Zoo, and DJ Myth. June 13th, I'm going to be at The Spot in Nashua, New Hampshire with MDOT. July 3rd, I'm going to be at the Hazy Little Stage, Bank, New Hampshire Pavilion, before and after Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. And then July 16th, I'm going to be at Star Bar in Brooklyn, New York with Rhyme Rocka. So we've got a bunch of dates coming. Every week we're dropping some new dates. Make sure you guys head to www.cody-pope.com. You can get all the dates there. Pre-sale tickets are going to be available. I'm playing a bunch of new places. If you guys can get your pre-sale tickets, that support would mean the world to us. Please head over there and check that out and see all the stuff that you can see on the website. We spent a lot of time revamping it last year. And so here is a little teaser of everything that you can get at cody-pope.com.
Then I stopped too late. How could I be so selfish? Do this lost on interstate like inventory of dead ends. I miss whom I can't, memories of my dead friends. It's my soul on the record, like removing the mask. Brain connected, feel electric, intermeshing spacecrafts. Then I opened up and I looked again, saw the sound like it's the base of my friends. Video game, selling some instruments for little more than little change. Lost some gems, I'm bound to lose some more. But think you got the prescription, you got me convinced. There's a lot you've been missing since I built this lot that you slipped in his way. This got me crawling. Not perfect, not even close to alright. If you're with me, let me hear you say alright. I'm all about my name, yo.
Much love to everybody that's been getting their tickets for these upcoming shows. Shout out to all the places that we're headed out to. I'm super excited to get back on the road. Yeah, it's just exciting. It's been a while since I've been putting the foot to concrete, if you will. So yeah, thank you guys for the love and support on that. Before we
getting busy,
I know, right?
Getting busy, bro. There ain't no doubt about that.
I'm trying. Real quick, let me turn the convo jams back on for a second. Before we got on air, you were telling me that you just went to rap night last night.
Yes, sir.
You saw the good Hellhound brother Byron G and fellow Gate City hip hop artist Elijah Matthias over there as well. It was a dope little Gate City hip hop function. I wish I had been there. But how was it? Talk to me.
Yo, super dope, dude. It was actually a really great time. Unfortunately, I didn't know about this. Jess knew about this, and she let me know about it and hit me up. And I was like, yo, I gotta grind. I need to put a little work in. I gotta put the feet to the concrete. You know what I'm saying? And just was busting tail and bust ass. And then we went down, and Byron laid down a nice set, dude. Fucking absolutely just threw it down. Decided, I was like, since I'm heading down there, brought the camera down, shot some shots, got those out to him, got some video footage. And today, while I was in the lab, I actually cooked up a little recap video for him that I actually sent out.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I was feeling good in the lab today, bro, like trying to get that work in with it. And Byron threw it down, bro. It was really nice to see. Won't lie, didn't tell him we were coming, so we surprised him. And he was pretty shocked that we made the drive out to come support. So, but
hell yeah, that's awesome. I know you didn't even tell me you were going, you schmuck.
I didn't even really know until it was like all of a sudden planned that we were meeting and going, and I was like, all right, let's roll. And got down there, and like I said, and Elijah threw it down. I actually didn't know this, but I guess he had a new track produced by Byron and performed it last night, and it was a good night. I mean, as always, myth on the boards. You know how I am with ones and twos. You know how they make me feel. So
yeah, I feel you on that.
Getting down there and just seeing him cut the ones and twos, puts me in a good spot every time. And then Byron went on, did his thing, and the cipher always opens up and closes. So it was a good night. And to be honest with you, I think we were out of there by like 11:45.
Damn, that is a good night. now I really wish you would hit me up.
But yeah, no, it was dope. It was actually pretty good. And then talking with brother Byron G there, he informed me that I think he's gonna be with MDOT at a show July 31st.
Yeah, I just saw a flyer for that.
And well, obviously we ain't got nothing booked up that night, and
yeah. And Byron's on the show that I'm doing with MDOT in Nashua as well.
Well, I'm already there for that one.
Yeah, but that would be a fun road trip to go out that way too.
Well, it's in my calendar. I mean, there's another show the same night that's in my calendar too, but That one's in Portland, and we'll see where that one goes.
Yeah.
That hasn't even been announced yet, so I don't know if I can actually
That's fair. I know the feeling.
say anything really about it, and
I know how that goes sometimes.
right. So, but somebody dropped me the information already, so I already put it in my calendar to be safe. But it's not a lock. I'm not sure like if it's 100% locked in, so I'm not really too concerned about it until I know it is. But as of right now, July 31st, I know that MDOT show's locked in, and nothing else is going on that night. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't got something booked up or something locked up, you know me, I'm down to make the ride out.
Yep, I feel that.
So my question is actually, let's see. If I sent it out to him on Drive, if I just add you onto it, that means you can see it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So if I just go to share, type that, hit that.
Speaking of, if you're watching the stream right now, feel free to hit the share button so we can get some more homies to hang out with us tonight.
Hell yeah. Well, I don't know if that just went through to you, but I did just share it.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to check that out for sure.
Something I cooked up. Yo, speaking of cooking up, bro, I got through those four episodes you sent me.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
You wanted something to talk about tonight. Yo.
Let's get into it. Tell me how you feel.
I hate you. She's already mad because I make you do enough projects already, and now I want to do this as a real project.
Yeah, but dude, wasn't she so good at that though?
Bro, yes. That's what I'm saying. Like
plays like 3 different characters.
But that's what I'm saying. Like from episode to episode, it was like I almost felt like I didn't like every episode just stood alone as like its own thing. Like I don't even really feel like it needed to be like I want to redo this like you said. Right. I want to reshoot this.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. So if you're just shout out to everybody that's jumping in right now. If you're just jumping in, we were just talking about a show that I did, oh gosh, I guess 6-7 years ago now. It's called Gates, and Gates is basically like a old radio program style podcast. I wrote the show. It was 8 episodes and featured a bunch of voice actors. And what I would do is record the voice actors, and I was trying to put it out as like that kind of a show, so you could just listen to it in motion. And I sent Danny the first 4 episodes, but we had so many voice actors on the show that it was just like impossible to get it recorded. And then COVID happened, and so that made it harder. And I didn't know how to like do remote recording yet, and I wanted it all to sound the same, so the thing just kind of like died, unfortunately. But I'm glad that you dug it, dude. That makes me happy. I would love to get into that in the format that I'll so I've put some feelers out there. I sent a message to the entire old cast and let them know what I wanted to do. And a couple of them hit me back and were like, oh, I'm interested in getting involved. And so there's a couple people that we can count on, but we still got quite a few gaps to fill.
No, I really like the whole idea, like camera play with the recording, sound effect, like
yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Some of the production things that we talked about, I think could have really great value, and
yeah,
well, it would be a different way of I guess like listening to an audiobook.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal, right? Is like there will, so I'm trying not to spoil too much, obviously, but basically the way that we're hoping to reinterpret this is that there will be a visual element for those that want it, but you can also still listen to it as just an audio thing and get the same satisfaction from it. So yeah, that'll be really cool. If I guess with that said, honestly, if you are a voice actor, or if you're interested in voice acting and it's something that you've wanted to get into, if you have a microphone and you have a camera and you're not afraid to use them both at the same time while reading, let me know. Shoot me a message wherever you follow me. If you shoot me an email, if you're a Cody Central fan, you can email the show. If you follow me as a musician, shoot me a DM on one of my platforms. And yeah, let's do this thing. I don't want to say too much about it because it's something that you really gotta listen, you gotta experience it to really grasp it. So I'd rather have it finished and then be able to share it with you guys and get you excited about it, as opposed to making you wait for something that we don't know how long it's gonna take. But just know that when this is done, this is definitely gonna be the biggest stretch of my imagination thus far. Like, this is, and I think that's why it's taken so long to kind of like bring it back full circle, because it requires a totally different type of brain power than putting out music does. But it's exciting, and I think that I did that in the time that I went on hiatus. So like, a lot of people know the story, but like after not having a good day, the album came out. I ended up going on hiatus for a few years before coming back and doing the Howling Man. And that's what I was working on in that hiatus time. Was I wanted this project to be like, I really thought my new like full-time thing was going to be like writer director of like podcast radio series, if you will. That was like fully where my head was at, and I guess you can kind of hear it in the production stuff that you heard.
I think that the way that this is going to be reinterpreted is going to be like, it's almost going to be like almost like an escape room. It's something you didn't know that you need to do.
Yeah.
And experience until you actually do it. And then once you do them, then you're hooked. Because like, I remember listening to the first episode, and like at first I put it on just to like have it as like a background and like listen to it while I was doing other things. And then I realized I was coming back to rewind it to re-listen to parts.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting down at my desk just listening to it. So I was like, this has grasped me. Like, this has me feeling like I want to know what's going on.
That's wild.
So
I love that. That was like the whole goal, was to like make people like, I always imagined it like a late night drive home kind of thing. Like, or like if you are driving home from work, it's like the thing that you like get excited and look forward to. You know what I mean? You're like, oh fuck, like I kind of want to, you sit in the parking lot before you go in the house because you want to finish the episode kind of shit. Like, that was what I had always hoped it would turn out to be.
So I was kind of excited with the idea of us possibly doing like visual for it. And then at the same time, I was excited about the challenge of what we were talking about us wanting to do. Because then to me, I was like, if we can learn how to do that as like a pre-record, that only gives us more options and more knowledge to be able to make the things that we're doing now even better.
Yeah, I definitely dig that. I totally agree. All right. Well, I really could keep talking about this, but as you saw, we came here with a mission in mind today.
I know.
I didn't even tell you about it either. I just fucking dropped it on you. But with that said, let me phase out the dope Byron GB here real quick. For this week's episode, we opened the chat line to discuss one of my favorite and likely one of the most influential programs of all time, a show that has raised the bar for anthology series and storytelling with integrity. Tonight, we celebrate the one, the only, the Twilight Zone. Anybody that is a fan of me or follows my music or whatever is very in tune to the fact that I'm a huge Twilight Zone fan. And Twilight Zone has been a big influence on a lot of my catalog. And with that said, today is National Twilight Zone Day.
Were you in the Twilight Zone today?
Huh?
Were you in the Twilight Zone today?
Certainly felt like it at times. But
well, because I'm chuckling over here because did you Twilight into the drive today?
What?
The drive. Did you share it?
Oh no, I didn't, but you can have it, I guess. we already went through all the hard parts.
I'm aware, but I couldn't interrupt you. Just be like, hey.
That's funny. That's why you dropped that line earlier.
Well, yeah, because I ripped up an old copy that line wasn't on there. So that way I could get through the hard part, which I did, but missed the line because...
Well, now we got a few more people in the chat. Should we just start the episode over? You guys wanted us to run it back from the top?
Well, if we do, I just sent you the video, so let's get that into the stream so everybody can see my work.
But yeah, so I guess before we get into the episode, let me kind of ask you, because it's pretty apparent for me, but like, what's your relationship to the Twilight Zone like? Was that something that you were into growing up, or something that you found yourself following at any point?
I was a huge catch reruns with my friends when we were chilling, smoking, relaxing. So like, I know some of the episodes, but I could not tell you all 156 episodes, I believe it is.
Yeah,
something like that. Like, I couldn't tell you every episode. I couldn't tell you what every episode was about. Like, I don't know it in and out, like, in that way.
I've watched every episode and I still couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? Like, to have like encyclopedic knowledge of it is way harder than people would imagine.
If you were to turn around and go, yeah, like on episode 47, I'm gonna be like, okay, like you're like a Trekkie then at that point. Like that's how I feel.
Which is cool.
I love the fact that
I do love the Trekkies.
I love the fact that you know in this episode number of this, like, I love that fact that you know that, and because that shows me how much in love you are with what it is you're passionate about, and I respect it more than anything in this world. But when it comes like Twilight Zone, no, sir, I could not do that in any shape or form. I mean, I know like tidbits of information about it. I know like little facts about it. I have like some episodes that like fans have made me sit down and watch. So like I vividly remember those episodes.
That's
because people are like, this is one of the greatest episodes. You've got to sit down and watch it. And I'm like, okay. And like when I found out when dropped this on me, like I did sit down and like do my small little bits of notes, so that way like I had my like episodes down that I did know.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm interested to talk shop with you. I guess first things first, I feel like everybody should know what the Twilight Zone is, hopefully. I'd be pretty baffled if you didn't. But with that said, the Twilight Zone is an American fantasy science fiction horror anthology television series created and presented by Rod Serling, which originally ran for 5 seasons on CBS from October 2nd of 1959 to June 19th of 1964. Each episode presents a standalone story in which characters find themselves dealing with often disturbing or unusual events, an experience described as entering the Twilight Zone, often with a surprise ending or a moral. The phrase, the Twilight Zone, as Danny referenced earlier, has entered the vernacular and is often used to describe surreal experiences. This beloved franchise has seen 3 revivals and a motion picture as well. So hopefully for the uninformed, that's a good idea of where we're at. But I feel like everybody knows what we're talking about. I'd be pretty baffled otherwise. So
I don't know. I've been pretty baffled at Film Club because I find out people haven't seen movies. So
I know, right?
So at this point, like I don't know if I'd be baffled anymore.
Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, the first time it happened, it was like, okay, but when it happened so many weeks in a row, maybe we are in the Twilight Zone.
Dude, so you were just saying that some of the episodes that you saw were like ones that people kind of like highly encouraged you to go watch. Do you remember an episode that you watched, even if you don't know the name? Do you remember kind of like the idea of an episode that you watched that really like stuck with you?
Yes, actually, I have a very specific one. I did look it up because I remembered the actress's name that's in it, so I was able to find the name of the episode. Agnes Moorehead was her name.
Okay.
And the episode was The Invaders.
Yeah, dude, that's a crazy episode.
So that was like the first episode that was like forced to watch. Like I had seen episodes on like the Sci-Fi Channel and things like I've seen episodes randomly here and there. I couldn't like definitively tell you, but this was the first episode that like a huge fan was like, you need to watch this episode, and it stuck with me because of how like incredible it was without her saying a single word the entire episode.
Dude, that's what I mean. It's so remarkable. So for anybody that hasn't seen that episode, this woman, do you want to, I mean, you brought it up, so I don't want to take it away from you.
So the episode is about a woman who is being invaded by miniature like aliens, I guess would be the best way to put it. And it's like crazy because the whole time she's terrified through the whole episode, but it's all like physical acting, like through her body, through her expressions, through the way that she like, you know, acts in, and then the whole time she's acting to nothing except for these little puppeteer that are people are controlling off screen, and she doesn't say a word the whole episode. It's just it's super powerful to like,
yeah,
to me, the way that the story is able to translate like through the acting. It's almost like a silent film.
Well, and the crazy thing about that too is that she was a like well-renowned like theater actor, so her whole thing was presenting dialogue and acting. And so to do an entire episode of a show with no dialogue, only using your facial expressions and your gestures and the emotion that you can wear, it just like, especially at that time, really was like phenomenal, dude. Like I that is a great episode to jump this conversation off with, because it's a unique storytelling device and it is like a profound gesture of acting.
So like, so that would, I would have to say, like, if somebody were to like had never seen it before, like, because that was the one that I got forced introduction with, that'd be probably the same one I would force introduction somebody into.
Dude, that's wild. That's wild, but I'm not mad at it. Big shout out to all, man, the chat just jumped up a bunch. Big to everybody that's tuning in with us now. Appreciate you guys. Oh, kicking over my computer. Yeah, we're gonna turn down the music a little bit.
The
big shout out to our brother Mike from the spot. So everybody that just tuned in tonight, we're just chatting about the Twilight Zone, as I mentioned before. If you are familiar with the Cody Pope catalog, you know, the Howling Man, there's a lot of other references that I'll kind of pick through here later. Twilight Zone has been a huge influence on me, and a lot of so one thing that people misconstrue about Twilight Zone is Rod Serling is the creator, and he did write a lot of the episodes, but he didn't write all of them. And he had some other writers that were incredible writers as well. But me learning about Rod Serling through Twilight Zone really led me down the path of learning about Rod Serling as like a writer and an artist. And I actually even literally right behind me, and I'm not trying to like flex, just to show you guys how much I like care about the subject, if you will. Some of these I'm still going through, but I've for years, I've just wanted to learn more about Rod Serling, the writer, the author, the activist, and a lot of that is because Rod's and you know, nowadays there's more people who carry this trait, which is great, but at this time, Rod Serling was a fierce advocate against racism. He was against
Rod Serling was a fierce activist against racism, censorship, and war, amongst other injustice. He had served his country in war, seen the worst of people, and vowed to use his position and an ability as an obligation to care and speak on issues that were affecting people negatively in the world.
Thank you for picking that up. My camera froze, so I wasn't sure if my mic froze or not. But yeah, dude, that thank you. That was my notes for the Rod Serling just always, he felt that it was his obligation to speak about injustices in the world. And at that time, it was to get involved in something like TV or film production or writing, even for that matter, to make your living like an author or somebody that did publications, that was unprecedented. You know, it was it was few and far between that people earned themselves those positions. And so to be in a position of power where you're creating an anthology show for CBS and to use that platform to make sure that you're always addressing a social injustice or a political injustice or something that's not being covered on the news or on regular TV is, I can't get over how powerful that is, and how even nowadays you have all of these people who it's like, you know, and people could come back and say it's not their responsibility, whatever, and that's fair. But like Rod Serling felt like it was his responsibility to teach people about the injustices of the world and to get people to have these conversations. And nowadays you have people like of like Taylor Swift magnitude fame who like could, with the snap of her fingers, change the entire scope of how people view a political landscape or a social injustice or whatever. You know what I mean? Like she could turn the tide on so many different things. And not even just her. There's like a lot of other people in of that like ilk that could make serious social change for the better, and instead opt not to. And not even just with their money, with their influence. And Rod Serling, this was the 1950s and 60s. You know, it wasn't like there was like a ton of celebrities out there, especially who, you know what I mean? It was like he became notable for doing the introductions on some of those episodes. That was really where his like the character of Rod Serling kind of developed. But what made him so brilliant is that he was able to kind of like mask, or like he basically masked heavy like social and political issues, and he bypassed all the network censors through the perspective of these like sci-fi and horror stories. And that's how he was covertly getting his message through, essentially using Twilight Zone as like a Trojan horse to broadcast a message about wrongdoings happening in the world, or just like thoughts on how we can treat people better. You know, it was just something like, there's just like quotes of his where it's like he just talks about how important it is to care for your fellow man. Stuff that I think we all lose sight of so often because the way society is developed, it's made us intrinsically more like self-protective, and we have to look out for number one, so to speak. But Rod Serling, that was not his platform. You know, his platform was that like when you have the opportunity, you like help your neighbor, you help your fellow man, and you like give them the chance to fucking see a better tomorrow if you have the ability to. And I just think that is so few and far between now, that kind of attributes to why Twilight Zone still resonates over 50 plus years later.
Well, I think you said it best. The words there was Trojan horse. It was he had political views and things that he wanted to talk about and get out there, and it was easy for him to mask it as like an alien race going through whatever it is that he wanted to talk to, than it was to write an episode where it was like humans going through it.
Yeah. And the thing looking back is, you know, he like his views were like very humanist. He cared about people worldwide, but I think at the same time, because of the time period and the reach of the program and stuff like that, like his views at the time often challenged the status quo, or like whatever the social norm was, or whatever like the political office in charge like would have set tone for. But nevertheless, when you look back, all of his opinion on things for the most part are the things that, like, at least from my opinion, I look back and I'm like, that's like American right there. Like a guy that cares about all of the people around him and like wants to do anything to avoid war because he's seen people die fighting for his country. Like that's like a American dude. You know what I mean? Like that's a fucking patriot right there. And I think that's like being American is about like wanting to make everybody that's in America the best and like giving them opportunities and shit. And we, you know, without turning this into something else, like we've gotten so far from that as a country. And, you know, it's like you don't have, you know, like people learned after like the Rod Serlings of the world were the ones that like had the Trojan horse, like we said, and people caught on, and enough people didn't fight back and try to add to that.
Yeah, I just, like you said, like, I just think he also had the ability, because he was putting out an episode every single week, that it just didn't get time to get like watered down. Like, executives weren't able to really like change a lot of it because of how fast it had to be turned around.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those, you know, like, it's funny because on Film Club last week, the episode that'll come out tomorrow for people, at one point we had mentioned the idea of like an auteur, and our friend Tyler was like pretty vocal about the fact that like he doesn't believe in the idea of an auteur, and you know, part of that is because of how much teamwork it takes to make any sort of creative project like that. And so like I totally get that, and I think that that's maybe not the right word, but I think that somebody like Rod Serling is a visionary leader, in the sense that like he has the vision and he knows how to put the right people in place to bring that to life, you know, where it's like, even on the first season of the show, and like I think random episodes in other seasons, he had Bernard Herrmann doing scores. Like, Bernard Herrmann did the season 1 theme song, as well as like music for random episodes. A guy that would go on to score Planet of the Apes and Taxi Driver, and like, you know, some of the most monumental scores of our lifetime. And Serling just had the taste and had the creative wherewithal to know how to pick the right people. And even with writers, like, dude, some of the best Twilight Zone episodes were written by Charles Beaumont. You know, like, I love Rod Serling and he's like an idol of mine, but like Charles Beaumont has some incredible Twilight Zone episodes. And so when you look at it like that, it's really interesting to see how like they had to, as artists and as like a technical team, to communicate getting all of this shit done. Not only did they have like an artistic vision of like what Rod wanted for the show and what the writers were bringing for stories, but then they had the technical aspect of how to present it. And they were limited by black and white, and they were limited by budget and all sorts of things. And I just think of like the language that they had to develop to get these ideas out must have just been something like so surreal.
Well, talking about budgets and stuff, like he was known for blowing budgets like early.
Yeah.
Like Odyssey of Flight 33, that episode where the plane goes back in time.
Yeah.
Like, that episode like bankrupt them early.
Oh,
and they were like, we're gonna have to either kill this episode and do something different, or you're gonna just have to like change all your vision for everything else. And instead he wrote episodes where it was all filmed in one location to make the budget cheaper for episodes, but they still came out as like phenomenal episodes. So like, even when they were broke and had no money, the episodes were still created and filmed around the no money aspect, and still gave you Rod Serling Twilight Zone quality without you knowing that they just didn't have the money not to be able to do anything else but what they did.
Right.
So like the vision, like his vision and stuff, and the way that like he worked around things was just incredible to be able to create some of the visions that he was able to make. Because like he had the episode, the 5 characters in search of an exit.
Yes, dude, that shit is wild.
It's 5 people in a circular room. That's it.
But then the ending of it, you know, like I won't spoil it for people, but the ending of that episode is just like, even to this day, like if you're seeing it for the first time, you're just like, wow. Like,
and
just like surreal.
And then like Midnight Sun was just two people.
Yeah.
In a one like in one apartment room the whole time. So like I don't know, it was just like it was interesting to like see like how he was able to shift his vision to fit his vision still, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to get a social construct across, but at the same time mask it in a way that it basically got by the execs, got by the people that didn't want it to be put out. And then they still put it out and they were still like laughing with him, but he was really laughing at them at the same time.
Right, for real. So you kind of touched on it a little earlier, but just like refresh my memory because it was on my questionnaire. Do you remember kind of like what age you were the first time you like got to watch Twilight Zone?
Probably 10 or 11-ish. I would say would be like
okay.
Seeing like a rerun, like catching reruns later at night. And then I definitely remember, and there used to be a network, it was called UPN.
Yep.
In the early 2000s, and they used to play it a lot there. And that was like my early 20s. So, you know, late night hangout sessions and let's watch, you want to watch something fucked up, man? Watch this fucked up shit right here.
For real.
And then, of course, like then not realizing what it was really like, what I was watching, or really understanding what it was that he was trying to get across. Then it was just, which now I can like looking back and like seeing episodes since then, like it was really easy to get lost in the stories. But then a lot of the times in the stories, like all of a sudden, he would insert himself in the story to kind of remind you that this was still reality. So it was like really easy to go into the story and get lost, but then he would like pop in to remind you like, hey, this is real things going on. Like, just don't get lost in like the fiction, because there's still some truth into this fiction. And like being older now and being able to look back at that, like it was kind of wild to be doing that in like the 50s, 60s.
Right. I'm saying, dude, it really was like something different. I think similar to you, I was probably like, I was like between 8 and 12 years old. And the reason I figured it out is because I think you might have even mentioned it too, but like every year there would be a New Year's Eve / New Year's Day Twilight Zone marathon on the Sci-Fi Channel. And they would just run like a 24-hour block of episodes from like or it might have even been longer than that, but they would just play all these random episodes. And so you could just sit there and get lost. And not only did that help make me like fall in love with Twilight Zone more, but it also kind of helped me develop my appreciation for black and white cinema in general at an early age, because after you watch Twilight Zone for a couple hours, you forget that it's black and white. It doesn't really matter. Like, and so like I can just remember like in my early teenage years, like already having like this notion of like, oh, black and white stuff could be pretty sick actually. Like there's like a lot of undiscovered gems there. And so that was definitely a big factor in my taste now even.
Well, that would make a lot more sense, because the early 2000s was my blockbuster years, where we've talked about it, where I got all the rentals, so I was just renting movies to rent movies, and that's where my appreciation of black and white films came from.
Yep.
And people being like, well, if you liked this, 1999 movie, check out this 1948 that is pretty much just like the same storyline, except for the 1999 has a little different twist on it because it's more a little more modern. And I'll be like, what? Be like, what? And they're like, yeah. And then you go rent it and you sit down and I come back the next day and be like, I hate you. You are right. You are 100% right.
Dude, in that video store era is when they started repressing like all of these tapes. So there's like, this was like one of the earlier, like one of the first times that you could actually watch it on your own accord as opposed to waiting for the marathon or waiting for a rerun to pop up somewhere. And it's crazy to think that like the show was around in the 50s and 60s and it carried on another 30 plus years before it got on VHS, and then probably another 10 or 15 years before DVD. Like it's taken a while in the grand scheme of, 50 to 70 some odd years. Jesus Christ, I guess 70 something years now. Like CBS has really fucking dropped the ball with this property countless times, and it's such a shame that Serling was convinced to sell off his portion of it, because it's wild to think how differently the Twilight Zone franchise could have turned out had Serling held, because it's like the show had like a great following, but compared to it was always like struggling to maintain its place. Like it was never like a chart topper that was like, so you know what I mean, like they were always kind of trying to justify their existence. And then as it went into syndication and shit like that, it started to gain like a whole new life. Even in Rod Serling's time, like while he was still alive, but he had sold off his ownership of it to CBS for like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I almost want to say like $300,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure like adjusted for inflation is maybe a couple $1,000,000, but that's like not nearly worth what a franchise like the Twilight Zone is worth today. You know what I mean? Had that have like stayed in his family.
Well, I think it was just recently that it's now on, like, I think it's Paramount Plus.
Yeah, because they bought the CBS All Access app.
Right. So I might, so, but I mean, at least now that it's out there and you can get your hands on it, as long as you pay for it.
Yeah, that's what, dude. That's why physical media, I got every episode right here on a disc. So plus the tapes and whatever else.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I had to get the CBS app because when they did the Jordan Peele reboot, that was the only way you could watch it, was the CBS All Access app. So I got the app for watching Twilight Zone. Then Twilight Zone got canceled, but then Paramount bought it, and the old lady had Paramount, so worked out that I just never really lost my access to that, at least. But I'm trying to, those are hard to find. The Jordan, I don't know if you got to watch any of the Jordan Peele reboot, but I really liked those a lot. And so I've wanted to get them on Blu-ray, and like, I'm sure I could go on Amazon and like get them shipped to me at some point, but I just am always like hunting for shit in the wild, and I've seldom ever seen them out in the wild.
Well, it's more fun when you find it in the wild because you're not expecting it. When you go on Amazon, you're expecting it. You're looking for it.
Yeah, like Amazon is for like desperation. All the other indie like movie distributors are for like planned purchases. But when I'm just like on the hunt for something, I really want to find it in the wild, even if I have to like drive crazy far to go get it. You know, like, dude, a good example, I don't want to get too far off topic, but a good example was the I think it's Arrow Video. I was hoping it was in this pile. Of course it's not. I think it was Arrow Video did a version of Old Boy, and it came in this crazy packaging. Damn it. I don't know what the fuck it is. course, because I'm not done reorganizing this thing, so of course it's like not alphabetized. But yeah, long story short, like I've seen Old Boy decades ago, and it's been like a favorite movie of mine. I kid you not, I have the entire manga series for it as well. But I never I just opted not. It wasn't even like a conscious decision. I just opted not to order it online because it eventually sold out really fast and was going to cost a lot of money. But lo and behold, years later, I found it at Bull Moose, and it was in brilliant condition, and now it's in my collection.
Yeah, it's
shout out to Ryan who just pulled up. What up, brother?
It's just being out in the wild and finding, a random Batman Mask of the Phantasm VHS in the case for sale. I mean,
right.
Never know what you're going to find in the wild. And then when it shows up, then you know that you need it.
When you find one,
just like that.
You just got to have it when you find it. Even if you already have one, you take all the ones you can find. Do you have any favorite Twilight Zone episodes? I know you said you hadn't seen them all, but there's some that have stuck out to you, and you said you had done a little refresher.
Yeah. Well, I already talked about it. The Invaders episode is probably my number one, because I was the one that was force fed to me and kind of got there. And then the next two that I talked about were also other episodes that I had seen: the 5 characters in search of an exit, and then the Midnight Sun. And then those were fed to me because they were big fans, were the ones who told me that those were the episodes that were the budget friendly. That's the reason I knew that fact about that. And then the only reason I knew about that being the budget friendly episodes was because of that Odyssey 33, Fight 33 episode. So those were episodes that were forced fed to me, and those would probably be my favorite ones, because those were the ones that are definitive, remembered, that led me to any other episode that I've ever watched after that.
I can totally dig that. Chat, let us know what your favorite Twilight Zone episode is. And let me throw something up for you guys out of curiosity here. I'm going to throw a little poll. So here we go. So chat, let us know in the comments if you already are a fan of the Twilight Zone or not. I believe all you got to do is... Oh, yes, Ryan just brought up one of my favorite episodes. Let me blow this up here real quick. Dude, so the episode that you're talking about, Ryan, is also, I was gonna include it in my list too. It's called Time Enough at Last. Time Enough at Last is one of my favorites as well. So this is the one where the guy works at a bank, and he just loves books. And so basically any moment that he doesn't have work to do, he's just head in a book, reading something. And to the point that his boss yells at him, and everybody in his life is giving him shit for how much he's trying to read. And so he just he dreams of a world where he just has time to read all the time. And then lo and behold, nuclear war happens and destroys everything around him. So he finds himself blissfully alone with all of his books at the local library that has been decimated. And then of course, like anything, there's a big twist. And so As Ryan mentioned, my glasses! It's not fair! Such a good one. So that's definitely one of my favorites for sure. Obviously, I guess it kind of goes without saying, but like, obviously, one of my favorite episodes ever is The Howling Man. If you live under a rock and have had no idea, my album, The Howling Man, is heavily influenced by Rod Serling and the Twilight Zone. And essentially, without getting too far into it, the story of the Howling Man album follows the trajectory of three different kind of parallel allegories, which is the Howling Man from the Twilight Zone, Clerks, because the Howling Man at Clerks is Dante and Randall. Both of them are always howling about the world that they live in. And Kevin Smith is obviously another one of my huge influences in life. And then the third one being my own life story, which is what the character is actually experiencing, is like my life. And so you kind of hear references to those other two stories throughout this one, showing how they're all kind of interconnected. And so Howling Man naturally been a big part of my life in general. If you haven't seen that episode, basically I'll try not to spoil it, but there's a guy that's traveling like during a storm, and he comes across this weird building, and so he like knocks on the door, and it ends up being this like collection of monks that all live in this place. And they try to deny him. Like, he's like, yo, I just need to come in and like get out of the rain and whatever. And they're like, nah, we can't let you in. Sorry. And he's like, dude, I'm going to die if I stay out here. Like, please let me in. So they begrudgingly like let him in. And you hear somebody screaming. Like, you just hear this like faint scream the whole time. And so the guy like is obviously freaking out. And so he comes to find that there's like an imprisoned man downstairs. And the guy, once he finds the guy starts begging for his help to let him free. So the guy that came in from the storm goes to like the head monk, and the monk explains to him that guy that's locked up is the devil. The devil like takes human form to like go into the world and cause chaos. And these monks actually caught the devil and are the reason for world peace at that time. And now this guy that came here to seek refuge has to kind of decide if he believes these people or not. And as you can imagine, it gets a little chaotic. And so that's one of those things that I think parallels a lot of people's life stories, in the sense of like thinking that you know the right thing to do and suddenly realizing how wrong you were in your confidence, you know? And I think that was a big part of my story, where I thought I knew I thought I knew the roadmap to my life and how it was going to play out. And with COVID happening, that basically threw everything I was working towards completely out of sync, and I had to like start over from square one again.
Sometimes you have to go against your best judgment to do the right thing when it seems like the wrong thing.
Yep. So yeah, so that's why the Howling Man has obviously like played such a big part in my whole music catalog and everything like that. Another episode that has played a big part in my life, or one that's had a big impact on me, is the Obsolete Man. You familiar with that one?
I am not.
So the Obsolete Man, and it's not the same thing, but the closest thing I could think of to compare it to is like Fahrenheit 451. But basically,
I love that book.
Right? Yeah. So you remember so if you remember Fahrenheit, you'll kind of get this.
And yes, I read it. And yes, I read it. Not talking about the Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, you know what? I really enjoyed that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was a really cool adaptation.
I did too. And that was just meaning like most people in our community would have assumed that I was talking about the movie, not that I read the book.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people in our community also would be easy to shit on that movie. But I think it was really fun. I shouldn't say fun. I thought it was really cool. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it felt like a really great HBO movie, if you will. You know? So I would stand on that. But without getting too far off track. So in the Obsolete Man, they're in this like future totalitarian society, and there's a librarian who gets declared obsolete and is sentenced to death. And so basically the librarian is brought before this court, and they're trying to decide like what his fate is going to be. And he is trying to like plead for the fact that like he does have a purpose, and like reading is purposeful, and like the fact that a librarian would be considered obsolete is like a horrible sign for the future of the world. And when you look at the world today, and you look at the immense lack of reading comprehension, and you look at the like teachers in schools all over the place are like starting to like quit teaching because the comprehension of reading on students is so far behind. And so these kind of things like the Obsolete Man and Fahrenheit 451, as like audacious as they are in spectacle, are very much prevalent to today's world, because once again, without like getting too deep or too dark or whatever, it's like it's very convenient to have a society of people that aren't educated, that don't have good reading comprehension, that don't like study, you know what I mean? It's like the more people you have that just rely on technology, the easier they are to control. The people that are hardest to like the hardest people to manipulate are people that understand reading and have a good reading comprehension. And not only can they read well, but they can process and memorize the stuff that they're reading. And you know, whether even people who read entertainment, right? Like people who read fiction and read fantasy or sci-fi or horror, just like what we're talking about here with the Twilight Zone. Like people that read anything are improving their reading comprehension, and therefore having a positive affect on like so many of their other like skills and muscle reflexes and stuff like that. And everything we do as a society encourages people more and more to get away from reading and replace it with an audiobook, replace it with a iPad that you can scroll the book on instead, or it'll narrate to you while you read. And I'm not like shitting on audiobooks and stuff like that. You know what I like? Get it in how you get it in, right? Like I'm not hating, but I just think that like even if you enjoy audiobooks while you're working or commuting or whatever, like that's great. Like take in good content, but also challenge yourself to read a book, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, whatever. Like just the same way that we talk, like the same way that you would tell your friend, like, dude, I'm going to start doing 25 push-ups every morning when I wake up. You would be like, that's great. Like you're going to feel better. The way you're going to approach the world is going to feel better in due time. You're going to not feel sore. Like, you know what I mean? Like so many positives come from that. The same exact thing with 25 minutes of reading. You do 20, even if you read 25 pages, you know what I mean? Even if you don't do 25 minutes, but if you just read 10 minutes a day, the change in the way that your brain works, it will fucking change rapidly.
Did you just say 25 pages, not
Yeah.
25 minutes? I'm telling you right now, I am not reading a page a minute. I'll be lucky if in 25 minutes I get 10 pages.
But that's fine. The most important thing is that you comprehend what you read on those 10 pages. That's the thing, is like, it's not about how fast somebody reads, right? You know, like that's a common misconception in like book culture, that, you know, it's like the more books you read, the smarter you are, or whatever the case is. Like, nah, like you could read a book, and if you don't grasp what the content of the book is, and you just got through reading the words, that doesn't make you a good reader. That makes you an efficient reader. And that's a different skill set. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be an efficient reader, that's like getting into legal stuff, or learning how to write copy, or like doing, you know, like news articles and stuff. Like, that's efficient, effective reading. But like, the kind of reading that's going to have an impact on your life is the kind that you like take and comprehend at your own speed. Like, that's the important thing. And that's why I was more so saying like 25 minutes or 25 pages, whatever works for you. Because it's like, think about it, bro. Like, you know me, I got a ton of books, right? So it's like, if I read this James Bond book, like, one of these pages is like, this right here is not going to take me a minute to read. You know what I mean? Like, it may take me a minute and a half to get through both of these, or maybe it would take me 2 minutes. Who knows? Like, but that's the thing, is like, the speed doesn't matter. What matters is just that you get through it.
Well, at the same time, you said you pointed it out as a comparison to like doing push-ups in the morning. Your brain is a muscle, just like your body's a muscle. So like, working out your body, it's going to get healthier, it's going to get stronger, it's going to get faster. So like, working out your mind is only going to get it stronger and faster, and you know, it's going to allow it to do things. So like, your comparison is absolutely correct. Like, it doesn't matter how much of you're doing it, as long as you're doing it. That's the most important part. That, I mean,
exactly.
That's like you driving down the street and you see some big person running down the street, you know what I'm saying? And they're not running very fast. They may not be moving very fast, but they're out there and they're in their clothes and they got their headset on and they're out there moving. But the point being is they're out there and they're doing it. So good for them.
Exactly, dude.
Like, it's not like, oh, look at that person. It's like, no, good for them. They're the one out there doing it. Are you out there doing it? No. So shut up.
Straight up, dude. That's how I feel too. And it's like, you know, because obviously we've talked about it before and on the show and shit, but I like I went through a huge weight loss thing at one point where I had got up to like 315 pounds, and then I ended up losing like 100 pounds. I'm not where I want to be right now, but nevertheless, like, going through that made me realize that I'm capable of doing it again. And so one of the things that I learned as I was trying to develop what my routine was going to be to lose this weight was, in order to create a routine, you just have to start showing up. And so I learned from these, I was like reading a lot of like stoicism shit, like stuff like that. And what they would say is like, just show up, just get to the parking lot. If that's all you do, if all you do is get your shorts and your hoodie on and you drive to the gym parking lot and you make it that far, or you walk up to the door and you make it that far, just start doing that every day until eventually you push through. And then you're going to go inside and you're going to hop on that treadmill or hop on that bike or whatever it is that you like set out to do. And so it's like, very much to what you were saying, it's like progress comes from consistency rather than like speed of results. Like, right, the person that goes to the gym every day for 30 minutes is going to get more out of going to the gym than the person that goes for 2 hours once a week, you know?
Correct. 100%.
Man, what a trip. Well, Rod Serling, that's exactly the kind of shit that I feel like Rod Serling would have pushed. You know, he was literally a military man. He was always, you know, like in shape despite his cigarette addiction causing him horrible health. But like, you know, if we as a society had known then what we know now, I feel like if he had quit cigarettes, dude, he would have been with us for another fucking who knows how many years. He was so young when he died. Like,
Twilight Zone gave him his voice. Cigarettes took his voice.
Yep, literally. It's so true, dude. So let me run through. So a couple more episodes that I know we're over time, but I don't really care. I love Twilight Zone, and this is the Cody Central show, so we can do what the fuck we want to do. Another couple episodes that I wanted to mention, People Are Alike All Over is another really dope episode. This is the one where the guy crash lands on Mars and he like finds all the native inhabitants of the planet to be like really nice and hospitable, but of course he discovers something insane about them. So that's a really cool one. It's hard not to spoil that one. Another
they're all his episodes are spoilers. Like something happens at the end of every single episode.
It's like, yeah, it's like if you know kind of shit. I hate
right
to say
that makes you just go, oh shit.
One that really stuck with me a lot is A Stop at Willoughby. Do you remember that one?
I do not.
So A Stop at Willoughby, it's this older gentleman who basically is just like tired of his miserable job. He's tired of his wife, and he starts dreaming. He takes the train to work, and he like falls asleep on the train, and he starts dreaming about this like old idyllic town called Willoughby. And it's like it's all like reminiscent of like how he like lived his childhood and shit like that. It's like a perfect replica town, kind of like, you know, like right out of a movie kind of thing. And at some point he like is remembering these dreams, and he like wants to go to this place so bad that he has to figure out if it's real or not. And so he starts taking the train, trying to figure out like if he can get himself back to Willoughby or not. Yo, shout out to my dog Mike. Let's go. Oh shit! Shout out to Six Minds Combined up in the chat too. All the
what up, Six Minds?
Much love, everybody. We're getting down on our Twilight shit tonight, as you can see. Yeah, so like A Stop at Willoughby is just really dope because I feel like, and it's once again, like right now more than ever, we are a very like nostalgia driven society, and like some people would say that as a bad thing. I cannot, with my fucking Wayne's World parody hat and my Twilight Zone sweatshirt. Like I love nostalgia, and the reason that I love nostalgia, so to speak, is because things happen so fast nowadays, right? Like the barrier to entry is so low to create content and get it out in the world that what happens is you're inundated with stuff, and to be nostalgic is to miss the past. And part of missing the past is recognizing how much stuff came out that you yourself weren't aware of and weren't around to experience. And so why would I ever be worried about the newest Netflix movie that I missed or whatever, when it's like I'm more worried about the fact that there's movies from the 40s and 50s and 60s that have been sitting on a shelf collecting dust and I could have learned about them however many years ago. Like, that to me seems like more of a thing, is like, why is history just collecting dust? Like, you know, there are filmmakers that have revolutionized cinema, and their films are just like collecting dust, and a bunch of cinephiles talk about them once in a while, and that's it. Like, you know,
I just think it was also it was a different culture back then where things were said, done that were, you know, maybe not so correct now. So they'd rather just hide it away than accept it as the culture at the time.
And I love what Mike said in the comments. Shout out to Mike. He said everything is a learning experience. And I totally agree with that. And I think that's another reason why older stuff strikes such a chord with me, because you see how people treated each other, you see how people treated themselves, you see how the world around people treated them, and so you can take those experiences, and even though they come from fictional stories and stuff, people wrote them from real life experience. That's the thing that you remember, is like, people's imaginations weren't as grandiose as they have gotten to be over the last 50, 60 years, because technology has allowed people's imaginations to go beyond anything, you know? And so I think that, like, going back to old stuff, old movies, old music, it's like, I hate to like spit cliches, but like, you're doomed to repeat history if you don't understand it. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's why the best filmmakers are the ones that like watch old movies, because they get inspired and they take the best things from all of those things and put them into their next piece of work that they're doing. And without like getting derailed, no pun intended, A Stop at Willoughby like strikes such a chord with me, because I love that idea of like hopping on a train and going back to a nostalgic time. You know, like, it's different for me, obviously, but it's like, dude, I would die to hop on a train and end up in a time where you have like video rental stores and public transportation and, you know, like more concert, like, you know, like the world that we kind of grew up in, so to speak, was like the end of the world that I like wish I was still living in today. And so it's like, it's very easy for me to resonate with A Stop at Willoughby, because it's like, I wish I could just hop a train and end up back in like the 90s and live through that time at the age that I am now.
I want to hop back to the 20s because I think I'd be a gangster then.
Right? Dude, I know. I do think about shit like that, where it's like
Prohibition time, you running alcohol, running a speakeasy. I'd be a gangster, bro.
I always think that like I would love to go back to like the 40s, where I could just be friends with Humphrey Bogart, and like I'd just be like, I wouldn't like necessarily like need to be an actor or anything like that, but I just want to be cool enough with Bogart that I could like hang out on set while he's filming and just be like, hey bro, I got you when you're off. Let's go. Like,
your boy Bogart.
That would be the coolest shit ever. Like,
your boy Bogart.
Yeah. Or like Rod
man Marty.
I would have, like, if I was alive in like the 50s and 60s, to have met Rod Serling at some like college speech that he gave, and like be able to hang out with him and pick his brain about, you know, smoke cigarettes with Serling and let him just like ruminate about whatever he was thinking about on the concrete wall of some college outside or something. It's like, dude, if you told me I just had to hop on a train and I would go do that, I'm going right now. Like you just like, there's just certain things that it's like, man, when you learn about the world that we could have lived in versus the world we live in, that
you
episode
just have to drive a DeLorean at 88 miles an hour.
Right. Oh, speaking of that movie, who was the director of that movie?
I believe it was a man named Robert Zemeckis.
who has an appreciation hour coming out on Hellhound Film Club tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in, youtube.com/@hellhoundpublishing or at Hellhound Film Club and hellhoundfilmclub.com. But yeah, thanks for the little alley-oop there.
That's what a co-host does.
That's funny, dude. My alarm just went off to do outro video for Film Club. So funny how that worked.
That's funny.
So I thought to kind of, I have like 2 more sections if you're down.
I'm down, bro.
Hopefully I'll make them quick. Hopefully you guys are still rocking with us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my brother Mike from the Spot. Make sure you get your ass down to the Spot, get a drink, support the vibes, support the movement. Yo, it's funny. Rick said, what a segue. Segway is New Hampshire thing. The guy that invented the Segway is from New Hampshire, and now I think he is convicted of being on the Epstein list or something. But at one point, it was cool to tell people that the Segway was from New Hampshire.
Or a segue as in what an alley-oop that you just dunked.
I just had to show off tonight's fucking Batman 89 Taco Bell drinking cup.
Yeah, well, I'm over here showing off my jacked from the restaurant fucking Coca-Cola cup.
It was funny. I had like a drink from a fast food place, and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, I don't want to like have that on camera. And then I like saw the cup like on display, and I was like, that's what I'll do.
But I am rocking the new Arankai gear from Saturday's show, so.
Yeah, dude. Mike said no, he's not. But I could have swore that isn't his name like Dean something.
What's that?
Isn't his name like Dean Kamen? Am I like? Hopefully, I'm not mixing up people. But
like the Segway scooters.
Yeah, exactly. The little lean forward joint. I don't know. If I got that wrong, I am so sorry. But I'm pretty sure, dude. Damn, Mike had the Taco Bell cup too, dude. Hell yeah. There's 2 of them, and I have the second one too. Or maybe there was more, but I have 2 of them.
So, founder of Segway, Dean Kamen, invented the original Segway PT in 1999.
Yep. Now,
where's he caught from? Up?
He's from New Hampshire.
Right, and that's what we were debating.
Shout out to our brother Ryan. Ryan's, if you guys don't know Ryan, you should get to know him. Ryan has been on a previous Cody Central episode. He is the founder of Granite State Ramen, which you can go to granitestateраmen.com and tap in with him to do a pop-up. Yo, it might be cool to do a Granite State Ramen pop-up at the Spot. Just saying. Just throwing that out there, gang. But yeah.
At the M. show.
Dude, Mike said you got the Batman glasses. Let me see if those are in my vicinity. I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't have the whole set because I'm not even kidding you. I have so much Batman stuff that I have like Tupperwares of Batman stuff because that was my first. That was probably my first collecting thing, but I was able to get this joint, dude. If this is the one we're discussing here.
The Riddler.
Fuck. What were we just talking about?
Well, we were talking about the guy from the owner of Segway. And then ramen noodle at the spot.
Yeah. Oh my god. If anybody ever gets rid of their Batman McDonald's glasses, please call me. I kid, dude. I wish my camera was like mobile so I could show you guys the obscene amount. Like, I'm looking at Christian Bale as a cardboard stand-up is literally looking at me from across the room, and then behind these shelves over here is animated series Batman and Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson Joker, all just lined up grilling me as like tall cardboard stand-ups. Damn, Ryan has 3 of them. Oh, I guess that makes sense. John, oh, shout out to John. Tell John I love him. So, what happened here?
There you go.
Oh, is this gonna be the bad news?
There's
the cups. $90. Holy shit. $90. What the fuck?
There's all 4 of them though from 1995.
God damn it.
Right?
Dude, of course now he's drinking out of it, bastard. What the fuck? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Damn it.
Yeah, those glasses has got you all messed up now.
I know, for real. Yeah, the Batman nostalgia has me messed up because I could do. Whew, yeah. Keaton, never mind, Jack. Yo. All right. Yo, cash him in with me, big dog. Yeah, for real. You ain't kidding.
Yo, that glass that you just had at the bottom of it, does it say made in? Where does it say made?
Ryan, ramen shop at the spot. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do a 3-way. Let's do a 3-way crossover event. Ryan sets up the ramen shop. Obviously, Mike has the drinks down at the spot, and then we bring Hellhound Film Club and do an anime night. We'll just screen different animes all night. Ryan can serve up food, and then we could come up with like a special drink to that we could like make with Mike, and we'll do a whole anime night at the spot. Oh, guys, let's do it. Tell me if everybody's in, I'm in.
I want a drink called the Sensu Bean.
Oh, dude, we could just play we'll just pick like favorite episodes of like obviously Bebop and Shampoo and like Outlaw Star, and we could even go Ranma if you want.
Gundam Wing.
Gundam, various Gundams, various Evangelions. All right, let's make this happen. This was so fun, and it would be fun to do a film club event outside of just like our weekly rotation too. Hentai strippers. Yo, that's crazy work. Holy shit.
Well, ask your friend if he has a number for them then.
For real. I would either have to set up in the parking lot behind the spot, in the bank lot, or in front of the spot on the sidewalk. Ah, damn it. Damn, he said, y'all ever heard of Grandizer? I haven't. I gotta look that up. Yo, can you do me a favor, Danny, going backwards a little bit? I just want to you don't have to play it or anything. I just want you to show the screen real quick. Can you go on like YouTube or something and just pull up Cody Pope, You Want to Get Nuts?
Yeah.
The reason is because Mike made a reference that I do in that song. Mike referenced the ill scene from Batman. where you say you ever seen the devil in the pale moonlight? Did it come up easily?
And which song was it?
You Want to Get Nuts?
That's wild. I put Cody Pope first just to make sure that it popped up first, and then as soon as I put You Want to Get Nuts, there's a lot of Batman that came first.
Right.
An insane amount of Batman.
It didn't. The song didn't come up yet.
Nah.
Throw Vatican Life at the end. I think it came out on Vatican Life. No, I think it definitely did. Sorry, I don't mean to like be fucking.
You're good.
Telling you to look shit up. Your computer is faster than mine. That's why I thought it would be better if you did it. Realize I just Jamie'd you in this episode.
Nah, that's part of what I.
Damn, that's right. Ryan knows the vibes. Vatican for life. Had to be there. Pray to your art. All right. Well, it's not a big deal if you can't find it, but
I've got something. It's Cody Pope. You Want to Get Nuts, produced by 8Bizza, so I know it's the right.
Yeah, there you go. It's just it's not even. It's just an audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it right here. Then, if that's.
I just wanted to screen share it so that especially Mike, but if anybody wanted to listen to it and hear the Batman reference.
That right there?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't worry. Jamie got it for you. Give me a second.
I don't know if we're going to be, we probably won't be able to hear it if you play it, huh?
I'll tell you in a second.
I want to see if the intro plays.
I can hear it in my headset. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I can sort of hear it. Sample's probably not there, or it might have been in the beginning.
What sleep? I'll get it when I can eat right. Worry about rent, I'm spent, but I still can't sleep tight.
Yeah, anyway,
they right, but never been in a street fight. I'm out pushing tickets, but
we don't have to listen to the whole thing. But that song is like referenced in samples that scene in Batman '89. And going back to oh wow, Ryan just said I just refound your More Than Rap music video. Damn, that's a good one. I don't know. All right, I don't know if I don't know if we can play, even though it's like my own shit. I don't know if we can play it or not, but I guess we'll find out if you want to pull up.
We can play it. We can play it. It's whether or not distro will trigger it or not. And if they do, then we'll get a notification.
I guess we'll find out, and I'll appeal to it because it's my own shit.
Right.
I know it really is so weird, but all right. So yeah, if you want to look up More Than Rap.
More Than Rap? Is that Vatican Life too?
Yeah. Yeah. This
I'm only
was
asking because I'll just throw it in there just to make it.
yeah. This was one of the early. This was like my second or I think this was my third music video that I did, and it's pretty much all shot on Main Street. So a lot of the homies that are still in the chat with us tonight will recognize a lot of these spots. Man, I wish I was getting plugged, which I'm not, but dude, the Jay and Silent Bob Jeter strain, one of my favorite things I've had in forever. But yeah, since Ryan mentioned it, let's throw back here for a little bit. We don't got to play the whole thing, but we could play a little bit of one of these early joints. This song is called More Than Rap. I have actually started playing this at shows recently again. I forget why. Somebody requested it, so I started doing it at a couple here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is more than rap. Sometimes I wonder why I'm breaking my back, when out of all I'm hungriest in the pack. People I know tripping while I'm spitting, dripping wax, gripping to my pack to turn these writtens into cash. Flipping fat, flipping facts on tracks with cats. Don't even catch the message they just left in the past. Truth they don't invest in, they just catching some laughs. Fuck I pay no mind not while I'm wrecking these raps. No simple shit, I got a technical act. My show a spectacle, inspected with tact. Every breath planned, like a reverend in mass. My soul on the record, like removing the mask. Brain connected, feel electric, intermeshing spacecrafts. Speaking all my thoughts, hoping I don't get paid last. Strengthening my crew so we don't have to lay flat. Remember all the poses, revengeance and payback. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. My life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. Wish I could ask Stanley if he faked a moon landing. Fuck with Marilyn and Charlie like I'm a new Manson. Wild out like old dirty, get the whole zoo dancing. My mind like war, always looking for new expansions. I make suicide songs that get your whole crew dancing. Stories of my life from hustle to travel, leave boots damage. When I connect with lines, it's like a striker Zeus landing. I'm the apple you don't like, but some already chewing hands and making noise about nothing but a couple of blue pants. Less time talking jeans, more acting on future plans. I like Pete Rock, punk rock, lately bump future jams. I just like music, don't need all its accoutrements. I like women to use their brains before showing the coochie damn. Open like CD books with Black Flag and Gucci Man. No more skating to get around, but I do it with my crew again. Love this life of music, but feels like I'm always losing friends. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with. Life's on some other shit that I don't know how to deal with.
All right, can I switch this one out for another one?
Absolutely, because then we can't get copyrighted.
Yeah, but
as long as we don't play the whole thing.
I just had this thought too, because it's like I don't have a ton of music videos, right? And that's definitely hindered me. But this next one is one of the craziest videos I ever got to do. Will you look up The Haunting?
Yep.
This song never even came out, so literally this video is the only place you could hear this song.
This is why I didn't have my screen shared earlier. So if I misspelled something, nobody saw it.
Oh, you might have to put Cody Pope in too, because
notice I didn't have to before.
I think that's because that one was like right on my channel.
True that. Well, you can see what I see, so
Yeah. Oh, Trooper was a good one too, but damn, I'll be bummed if it's not up anymore.
Let me.
I'll find it real quick. I wonder, I think, you know what it, I think, yeah, okay. Dude, do me a favor and say where you wrote Vatican Life in the search.
Yep.
Will you type misdirected media? I forgot. I didn't forget, but my buddy's video production company helped me with this one, and so they put it on their channel. That's why it didn't come up under me. Yeah, that first one.
Yep.
Dude, this is so for frame of reference
Before you play this, I literally sat through like 2 hours of makeup to do this video. Yeah, Ryan remembers it.
All right. Well, here's 2 hours of makeup work.
Zoned out in my animation. Anime plays through my joints cremation. Craft an idea, got a new creation. Can't wait till legal recreation. Need to calm down, need this medication. Taking it to me is like the best vacation. Furthest thing from patient. I'm a patient, getting anxious. I can't take this, don't fake this. So broke, I'm about to rob a bank, bitch. Can't sit still like I'm hyperactive. Give him in a beat and I might attack it. Give the man an inch, he gon' say he ran a mile. Give a man some water, he gon' ask you for the Nile. Help a man who worked for it and you both see the goal. That's what I was chasing, contemplating, selling my soul.
You'll forever be mine, even if you don't wanna be. You become the Halloween, that's forever haunted me. Zone on out, and let your head bang. Reconnection to your best friend. You'll forever be mine, even if you don't wanna be. You become the Halloween, that's forever haunted me. Zone on out, and let your head bang. Reconnection to your best friend.
Thought I lost the soul, thought I lost the funk, thought I lost my keys dead inside the trunk. Then I opened up and I looked again, saw the sound like Ace the base of my friends. Floating in this cloud like I'm Super Saiyan, that's some shit I'm saying, but I ain't playing. Pulling in myself like a Stretch Armstrong. All I really know will be best I'm gone. Toughing shit out like going through withdrawal. Insufficient funds every attempt of the withdrawal. Scraping at the shake at the bottom of my drawer. Shaking off the shake that I got up off the floor. Awaken, I can't take that, I need more. Walking on the bike trail, failing to score. Life on a boat, but need a sail to explore. Laws of your God I just can't enforce. Life on a planet that I never visited. Earth is a turf where I lived at as a kid. Galaxies of ghosts or hints of a life. Actually a toast to the ghosts of the night. Whether it be chemical or maybe I'm just dreaming. Either way, a demon is everything in my being. Pupils enlarged like a black hole beam. You can't even explain what these eyes seem, they are seeing.
You'll forever be mine, even if you don't wanna be. You become the Halloween, that's forever haunted me. Zone on out, and let your head bang. Reconnection to your best friend. You'll forever be mine, even if you don't wanna be. You become the Halloween, that's forever haunted me. Zone on out, and let your head bang. Reconnection to your best friend.
Stand out in the street, puddles near my feet, hailing for a cab, make my friends repeat. Coming down this bad habit, needs feed while it getting thin, growing is degree. Stop and look around, staring at the ground. Friends all left you here, sleeping to the sound. Sirens blaring there, people passing, people walking, but no judgment lapsing. Energy collapsing, minds a blurry map, and I don't know the city or why I feel so shitty, but I'm fucked up and I'm screwed loose, and I'm too young to be old news. We too dumb to be so Scrooge. Let's waste money and chase booze with lots of drugs and lots of hugs with lots of thugs and lots of us. Like,
this was like the point in my life where I still thought like fitting as many words into a bar was like the illest thing possible, and now I like now I like listen back and I'm like, bro, chill, like you don't got to do all the flippity bippity doopy doopity like. I don't know.
I'm wondering, why don't we do this more?
What, that song? Honestly, I don't get to do too many Halloween shows, and that's like the perfect time to do it. Like, I used to throw a Halloween show back when I had my Pelham residency. Our show that we did was called Misery Loves Company, so we threw Misery Loves Halloween and did like a 2-night thing. Yeah, I don't know. I just never really and like I said, the song never came out, so I don't like. I would just have to kind of like rap over the instrumental if I could even find it at this point.
I'm just saying that beat bangs.
Right. Shout out to Decap on the beat, dude. Decap was like our early mentor to me, and it's crazy to like see all the shit that he's done since then. And so like I feel really fortunate that there's like a ton of music in my catalog that's Cody Pope produced by Decap and Brady Watt. Going back in the conversation, by the way, dude, Six Minds Combined mentioned an anime called Grendizer, and I looked it up, and that looks pretty sick. I'm definitely gonna check that out. It's like a mech based show. So we got super off track there.
It's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, that's true. Ryan knew what's up. Hell yeah. So going back to Twilight Zone, just to keep things in theme here a little bit. Let me sweeten the mood up here. Excuse me. So the song Gems from Howling Man. Obviously, Howling Man, the album, I already kind of mentioned what the reference was in all of that. But then the song Gems on that album, I specifically mentioned Rod Serling by name at one point. And so I say, me and Rod Serling burning, talking about Hitchcock. Me and Bogart make Mo art and exit through the gift shop. Me and Sterling Hayden just plotting our last heist. Never lived video games, so know this your last life. In a lonely place and yet surrounded by the world. Try to move horizontal, sometimes life tilt the whirl. Might not always get the girl, get away with jewels. But don't ever say never lest you're circled by fools. Cause I've been too cool for the rules, dude. Preach. So the Rod Serling thing was obviously a big part of setting up that line and connecting all of those other creators, like Kubrick and Hitchcock and Bogart and, but then if you go to Meet Me in Gate City on Eyes Wide Open in Meet Me in Gate City, Eyes Wide Open is like chock full of sci-fi references for those that are like kind of tapped in or whatever. And so it starts with a bunch of Twilight Zone references. I obviously kind of signal that because I say travel through the Twilight Zone when I write home. And then I go, people are alike all over while I fight clones. Because people are alike all over when he lands on the planet and, finds that the people of Mars. People are alike all over when I fight clones. Never obsolete. Keep howling at the moon. So that's obviously the obsolete man, as I mentioned before, and Howling Man. And then no longer the nervous man in a $4 room. I don't know if you remember that, but that was another episode. And that's the episode where there's this like small time criminal or crook. His name is Jackie. And he has to stay in this hotel room and he's like basically hiding out. And his like a mob boss or whatever, his like street boss asks him to take on another job, and he's already freaking out because he's like hiding away because it's hot, and his conscience ends up appearing in the form of his mirror. So it's like he ends up talking to himself in his mirror, but his conscience is like giving him shit and like telling him to get his life together and shit. And so it starts like haunting him and like driving him crazy. So it's like, never obsolete, keep howling at the moon, no longer the nervous man in the $4 room. And then the last Twilight Zone reference I make is I say don't play the fool like a game of pool. That's not the exact line. Why am I fucking that up right now?
You're referring to the pool hall episode.
So the episode is called Game of Pool. Okay. So yeah. So never obsolete. Keep howling at the moon. No longer the nervous man in the $4 room. Life's more than a game of pool. Shame if you play the fool. Chase integrity and practice keeping you cool. And that's because in the episode A Game of Pool, there's this like pool shark. His name is Jesse, and he's pretty much beaten everybody that goes through that pool hall. People have come from other places to play him, and he's beat them. The only person that he hasn't beat is this guy that like passed away before him, whose name is Fats, and he was like the legend of the pool hall. And so that's the only person that this guy Jesse never got to beat. And one day the spirit of Fats like walks into the pool hall and offers him the game on peculiar conditions, of course. So then after that, it switches real quick because obviously it's like a whole sci-fi theme. So it's got all of those Twilight Zone references, and then it jumps into a couple X-Files references and then a couple Cronenberg references for all our film club fans. There'll be some joints now that people some stuff in that verse that people recognize now that they didn't recognize before watching the film club episode. So that'll be. I like leaving those little Easter eggs for people, but I'll leave those for people to figure out.
You like being mysterious, don't you?
Oh yeah. Ripping lines, the rap feeling my brains in. Heart of a lion, they lie to keep me caged in. Nicky think I'm smart, but my brain feel caved in. Sticky situation when you don't the one they praise. And never been a sheep, and I don't know what fleek is. Sometimes I'm so numb, don't know what weak it is. How weak is it to give yourself diagnosis? I'm feeling bleak, wish I was strapped to explosives. I can feel the heat, the pressure from the exploded. My mind's equation field filled with computer coding. Astronaut social skills, but leader of my crew. I'm the type to write about it once I see it through. Yes, you can believe it's true. See what he do. No, we not a Superman, but green making blue. If I only had dollars and not just a dream or two, chances if you believe in me and you believe in truth. Preach. Had to do that because you said mysterious. So shit over. Let me ask you about this. This is my my closer on Twilight Zone. Did you get a chance to see, and if so, how do you feel about any of the reboots?
I unfortunately did not catch the reboots. Not like any of the newer ones, because I know that you were talking about the Jordan Peele ones. I didn't catch them. I think there was like a really early one, right? And then one in the middle. And I feel like the middle one had somebody I know, but I don't remember.
So there was a reboot that started in 1985. That went on to 1989. There was about 3 seasons of that. Then they did another reboot in 2002. That only lasted 1 season, but it had the host again, and it was hosted by Forrest Whitaker this time. So I think that's
I said I knew the host. I was like, I know the host. You're gonna say the name, and I'm gonna go. That's right. So the Forrest Whitaker, I remember them, but I don't remember the episodes well enough to be like, let's have a talk about that. Like, no,
that was
not
kind of
happening.
the least memorable of them all, in my opinion.
And I'm willing to bet like the reboots, the late 80 ones. I'm willing to bet, obviously, because at that point I was almost double digit age, so I'm sure I had seen them. But
the 80s ones are cool. Like, there's some joints in there. So I'll say I had a time. So like I said, I always grew up and I loved Twilight. Like, I've always liked Twilight Zone. It's always been in my pantheon or my ecosystem, whatever you would call it. But I had a time, I want to say it was 2018 or 2019, where I finally realized that I hadn't seen every episode. So that year, I watched all 5 seasons, every single episode, like chronologically. And I've also been listening to, there's a Twilight Zone podcast that's been going on for a long time. And the guy who hosts it, he's literally won awards for how good this podcast is. And like, he's at Serling Fest every year, which is in Rod Serling's hometown. But this guy's from England, and he's done an episode where he literally goes episode by episode, covering every single episode of the Twilight Zone. And so I was like watching the episodes and then listening to the podcasts on my commute to work and shit, like the next day. And after that was done, I tried to go on to the other, after I got done watching the original, I wanted to watch the reboots. But the 80s one, I've seen a few episodes that are really dope. There's one in particular that has Bruce Willis in it, and it's actually really sick. I have to figure out what it's called, but 80s Revival has a couple dope episodes. The 2002 episode, I don't really remember that season very well. Like, I remember Forrest Whitaker, like you were saying, but none of the episodes really stuck out. And then in the Jordan Peele reboot, I loved the Jordan Peele reboot, to be totally honest. The one thing I forget which reboot had it.
So it looks like August 21st to August 23rd this year.
Oh, you talking about Sterling Fest?
Yep.
You want to go?
Well, I mean,
I've been dreaming of going.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you buy your ticket before June 30th, it's $50 for the whole weekend.
Dude, and it's cool. The number of people that go too, like people like some of the books I was showing you, like, dude, this the guy who wrote this book, his name's Nicholas Parisi. Not before the book came out, but afterwards and shit, he's like basically become the he's like the president of like the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation and shit. So like people that have like been really tapped into Twilight Zone shit, like manage and like plan this shit year after year. I've never gone just because it's kind of an expedition to do solo, but it would be so sick to do that trek. And like Binghamton, New York is Rod Serling's hometown, and so there's like the people that run the Twilight Zone like online crew and shit. They actually did a fundraiser and like raised the money to get the town to erect the statue of Rod. And even before that, the carousel that was in walking distance, that carousel is still really in Binghamton and is like a site that you can go visit with like a plaque that like talks about the Twilight Zone episode and shit. Like, there's like just really cool shit to do up there.
Definitely sounds like it. I mean,
dude, so I was trying to figure out which one it was, and so we were the 2002 revival that had Forrest Whitaker. it had one episode that I do remember. I wasn't sure if it was in the 80s one or that one, but going back to the original Twilight Zone, do you remember the episode It's a Beautiful Life that's about the little kid named Anthony who like can basically wish for whatever he wants to happen? So all the adults in the town like walk on eggshells and are wicked nice to Anthony because he can just make them disappear just by like looking at them and shit, and he like sends people to the cornfields.
No, but that sounds awesome.
Cool about that, dude, is so the kid that played Anthony Fremont in that episode was an actor named Bill Mumy, and because he was really young when they did the 2002 revival, they wrote a sequel to that episode called It's Still a Good Life, and they got Bill Mumy to come back, and this time he played himself as an adult who had a daughter that had the same power that he did, and now he was trying to control his daughter from taking advantage of using the same power. And it's like it's probably the only Twilight Zone episode that ever got like a quote unquote sequel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
You ever want a fun double feature, watch the fucking black and white It's a Beautiful Life and then follow it up with fucking It's Still a Good Life.
Oh yeah, that's without. Well, how long are each episode? Like an hour, right?
Yeah, I mean, without the commercial breaks and shit, they're usually like
43 minutes.
Yeah, and Twilight Zone is kind of weird too because in the original 5 seasons, like what we've been talking about most of the night, the episode lengths fluctuate based on the season. And so, like, for example, I think it's only season 4, they switched to hour-long episodes where, like, the original episodes are, like, 27 minutes or something like that, or 23 minutes. But they did that for, like, the first 3 seasons, and then all of a sudden in season 4, they do these hour-long episodes, and they weren't received as well, so then they ended up reverting back to the half-hour format for season 5, which was unfortunately their last season. And it sucks because as great of a show as it is, it ends on like such a fucking stinker of an episode.
Well, they didn't know it was their last episode.
Exactly.
And they were all wrapped up, went home for the weekend, thought they were coming back to work on Monday, and then got told to go piss off.
Right. But the funny thing about that is I think it's Bewitched. So the last episode of the Twilight Zone is called The Bewitching Pool, and that basically ended up being the inspiration for Bewitched.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I probably said too much as it is, but I can't say enough about how great I think the Twilight Zone is and about how much there is to revisit even after all this time.
I'm actually curious now. I definitely want to find the Jordan Peele edition.
Yeah, dude.
Reboot and check that out.
There's with that one, there's a couple stinkers, I'll be honest, but overall there's more good episodes than there are bad.
Okay.
That's the best way to put it. It's like in a season of like 8 episodes, there might be like 1 or 2 stinkers or something like that.
Salute. That happens. Thank you. That happens sometimes. I mean, you got to think about it. Every season of every TV show that's ever been out, there's at least a couple episodes that are necessity to the storyline, but not good episodes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but it'd be interesting to see his take on it.
Yeah, dude, definitely check that out. Definitely revisit some of the OG episodes as well. I can't tell you guys enough that even me, like, I've seen every episode of the Twilight Zone. I literally own them on DVD, and even so, every year I go back and I at least watch a few episodes every year, because it's like alignment for your moral compass, if that makes sense. Like, that you're a decent person, but sometimes life is just throwing you shit, and you start feeling like you're not acting the way that you wish you were. And Twilight Zone kind of just will like kick me back into gear and be like, no, get your shit together, like, be a better person.
Right.
And Rod Serling is just a fucking genius, man. Like, I hope people go back and revisit Twilight Zone, and that's obviously why we did this episode today. But I also hope people will start looking into Rod Serling and recognize how much more he was than just the Twilight Zone too. He was like a writer, an educator, a creator, an activist. He did all of these different things in a very short lifetime, and he absolutely has like left an indelible mark on me and much of the world. So yeah, that's why I was really glad we got to do this episode, and that's why I didn't give a shit about the time length either, because this is what I like, and so I'm gonna go as long as I can. And I'm grateful that you guys stuck around. Shout out to everybody that popped in tonight. The live chat was really cool. It was cool. A lot of new faces, a lot of friends, a lot of people just like coming in and out and stuff. It was really dope. That stuff helps us out huge with this show. Even if you can pop in for a few minutes, like, everything helps. So we both really appreciate it a lot. And obviously, as you guys know, we've been talking a lot about TV and movies and stuff like that. Every Tuesday, brand new episodes of Hellhound Film Club hit the YouTube channel right here where most of you guys are watching from. If you're watching from Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us at Hellhound Publishing or at Hellhound Film Club. New episodes come out every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And then every Wednesday night, we record the episodes right after our free movie night at the Spot in downtown Nashua. So we really want to get you guys to start coming out to these recordings, because basically, like, what we did tonight is essentially what we do every week at Hellhound Film Club. We literally watch a movie together. We bring a projector screen, a projector. I bring friggin' boxes of popcorn. We all sit there together, watch a movie, and then when it gets done, we turn the mics on and we record an episode about whatever it is we just watched or something in that capacity.
And this week, y'all want to be at Film Club, because we are going to premiere something that we cooked up for y'all that's a little different than what we've been doing with our presentation. So we're excited to show y'all. It's fucking, we're trying to make it better every week for y'all. So we cooking in the lab, and it's gonna be a good show this Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this episode, honestly. So I'm gonna be totally sorry. I'm sorry, my head is away. I was trying to see if I thought I had the soundtrack.
Wireless lavaliers.
I know, right? I thought I had the soundtrack to this week's movie, so that's what I was trying to find. But
I'm dying because I know growing up that I had that soundtrack in my car fucking book. These kids ain't know nothing about no texting and driving. Try to find a new CD for your CD player while you're driving.
For real, dude. So the movie that we're going to be watching at Hellhound Film Club this week is Godzilla from 1998. The most divisive of the Godzilla movies, and I can't wait to get on my soapbox and talk about why it is awesome.
I cannot wait for this Wednesday.
is going to
I am surely hoping certain people show up because I already know how they feel about it.
It's going to be awesome. This is going to go over great. I'm sure of it.
This is why we do this, though.
Yeah.
I love the episodes where people all agree and we all get along and it's fun loving talking, but I love the episodes where we have difference of opinions. Those are my favorite episodes.
So, guys, seriously, consider coming out to Film Club. This week is a fun week because we're watching Godzilla. You literally come down to Main Street, watch Godzilla, get a non-alcoholic drink, all a dope, delicious mocktail with like real fruit and like dope ingredients. You could get kava. I'm still learning about.
I could use a kava right now.
You can get a kava shell and just really like relax. There's like great food options, and then we're watching a movie together on the big screen, and then we do the show after. So if you already come out to Film Club, thank you. And I encourage you to bring a new friend with you this week. And if you've never been, I encourage you to come out this week because this is going to be one of the more fun weeks that we do this because the movie is not as serious as, like every week the theme is like so drastic that it's like, 1 week we're watching Taxi Driver, and then the next week we're watching a Goofy movie or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like the vibe is we're always building it up. And I think the Godzilla 1998 is going to be a really fun one. Big shout out to Mike the Healer. First one is on the house for newcomers. So if you pull up to the spot and you've never had kava before or mocktails, whatever, talk to Mike, get to know him. He's a musician. He built the spot as like a place for people to socialize and hang out without the pressure of alcohol. He also created a space that's built for art and music, and it's like a multi-function space. I've done Cody Pope shows there before. Other shows happen there all the time. Let me throw that up. I can't read that. I'm sorry.
All right. I got it. I got you.
Thank you. Yes, Film Club every Wednesday. You get Mike DJing every Thursday. Oh, and he's going to be at Garden of Whedon this year. That sounds so dope. Big congratulations for landing that. I saw the flyers for that, and that looks so sick. It's like a whole like cannabis music festival thing, and yeah, that sounds like something that would be right up my alley.
Ooh, I love you, Mike, but that week, those 3 days hurt. It's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
What?
Yeah. I hope those dates are wrong.
Maybe that's the wrong date then.
I hope so.
But look up the Garden of Whedon 2026 nevertheless.
Yeah, Jamie, can you do that for me?
I just meant interested people.
You know I'm messing. Let's see.
In the Garden of Whedon on a
festival.
Yeah, he said it's a weekend. That's what I thought. It's definitely a weekend.
Yeah, I'm jumping up right now. So I've got the Garden of Whedon 2026 Music and Arts Festival takes place on June 12th to the 14th.
Oh, look at it. He said June. My bad. Oh, my laptop just died.
Oh, jeez. What a weekend.
Yeah. Well,
no, because the 12th to the 14th would be that. Then I have Cody Central on that Monday, and then that Tuesday I leave for Vegas.
Damn, that's wild.
And then I fly in from Vegas. I have an hour and 40 minutes to make it to Cape Cod for the Justin Clancy show.
Hey, by the way,
what's going on?
Are you guys on our mailing list?
Me?
No, like the people in the chat.
Oh, that's a good question.
Hopefully you're on the mailing list. Are you on
I've
the
been
mailing
list? I've been on the mailing list since I met you at the Clancy show.
Did you get today's newsletter?
I'm sure I did.
Oh, he said, I'm sure I did. That means our open rate has been negatively affected. But guys, if you're not on it, get on the mailing list. I try not to send them out too often, right? I know it's like everybody be getting a lot of mail, so I try to be reasonable. But if you get our mailing list, you will literally get updates on show flyers, the podcast updates, stuff for film club, everything that's going on. One of the big things I'm really trying to push right now is honestly, and Mike said I haven't read it yet. That's totally cool. All that matters is just opening it, right? I mean, obviously I would love for you to read it and click through stuff, of course, but your mailing list gets evaluated on people that actually open it. And so the higher open rate that you have, the more likely it is to get pushed through to people's inboxes versus like fucking promotion or some shit like that.
All right.
You looked like you were going to say something.
Well, at first I looked up Hellhound and I only had 4 emails ever in that account from Hellhound. But I just switched to all mail, and now I'm going to search it again. And it's the same 4. So that's interesting. Maybe I'm not part of your mailing list.
Yeah, well, you've changed emails a bunch of times, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, I have one email that I've used for 25 years.
Yeah.
And then, yes, my company, my media has changed its email twice now. Well, I had the original and then the rebranding. So, yes.
Right.
Speaking of that.
But yeah, so if you guys get the emails, open them, please. But also, if you're planning on coming to any of the upcoming shows and they offer pre-sale tickets, please buy tickets ahead of time. It's going to save you money. And a lot of these venues are places that I'm playing for the very first time. And so if my audience goes and buys tickets ahead of time, it's going to show these venues that we're really pushing this and that they should continue to like bring us back in the future and hopefully allow us to get even better opportunities. And so it would really fucking mean the world to me if you guys would. Some of these tickets are literally cheap too. I'm talking like you could get like my Boston show tickets are like $12 if you get them ahead of time. And the show is like, it's like a early evening show on a Saturday night with some incredible artists. Same thing with the Fitchburg show. I think the Fitchburg show, I think pre-sale tickets for that are like 10 or $12. Same thing. And so all you got to do is go to my website, go to www.cody-pope.com. When you go to the show section, you just click on the tickets for the show that you want, and it'll bring you to the website where you get them. But that would help me out more than anything, and would help you save some money and just lock in the plans. Don't wait until the night of the show to decide if you're going to go. Lock it in now so that you can convince some friends to go with you, and then you guys can make a thing of it. Like when I go to when I'm playing in Boston, invite 2 or 3 friends. Then you guys can like get there early and grab grab a drink or you know, grab a bite to eat before the show. Then you can go to the show, and then afterwards you can go out and have dinner with a bunch of people and hang out, or like go catch a movie at the Coolidge, or go, you know, walk through Central Square. Like, you can make a whole thing of it. Same thing like Fitchburg. Fitchburg is really cool too. Fitchburg's got great like food and dining establishments, like cool, like all sorts of places to hang out. Like, get tickets to these shows and make a trip of it, please. Like, I know it's like I'm out here begging you guys, but if you're listening to this and you're coming to a show, pre-sale tickets mean the world into making these shows better. I promise you.
Yo, if we get enough pre-sold tickets bought, we could all look into a party bus up for the way down.
That's definitely a thought too, right?
I mean, if we're gonna roll deep enough, bro, like, split a party bus up, man. We all go down. We all can go down safely and come back safely.
But I think this kind of attributes to why we see these. There's like an influx of shows or concerts, whatever you want to call them, that have these really bloated lineups where it's like you're seeing 8, 9, 10 artists in a night. And it's not like comedy where it's like, you know, you see 10 comedians, they all might do 3 minutes a piece or 5, you know what I mean? Like 6 minutes a piece. You know, it's like when you see 8 to 10 rappers on a show, they're doing like 20 minutes. You know, that's like a hearty night. And a lot of that comes from the idea of the more artists you have on a show, if everybody brings an audience, you're going to fill that room out, and you're going to have like everybody's going to be playing to new people, and you know, there's not a high barrier to get people. You know, it's like if you have 8 artists on a show and all of them bring 10 people, there's 80 people in a room that holds, you know, 75 to 100 people or whatever. Boom, mission accomplished. But a way that you could get around that is by encouraging pre-sale tickets, where it's like, yo, we've got 3 or 4 artists that you really like or that you know are really dope, and if you buy the ticket ahead of time, it's like $10, and if you come that night, it's, you know, 15 or 20 bucks or whatever. But you could just get it ahead of time for $10, and then if everybody in a 100-person room gets their tickets, boom, show is sold out. You know that you're going to have a crazy time when you get there. The artists all know that they're going to get compensated. The venue knows that they're going to make money because people are going to be in the place getting drinks or food or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it's a chain reaction where it's like, if you want concerts to be better and you want more people to come to your shows, be part of the change. Buy tickets to shows and then encourage and offer tickets and encourage people to get tickets to your shows. Because the more that we start buying tickets ahead of time, the more we start making plans, and these things become an event. A concert used to be a big deal, where it was like, even an indie concert back in the day, you know, a band was coming to the Middle East or something like that. And it was like, we don't live in Boston. So that was a whole thing for us at the time. And it was like, we'd get a group of friends, everybody would drive down, meet at the train station, park our cars, we'd all take the train into the city together, we'd go like eat dinner somewhere before the show, then we'd, you know, go to the show, have a good time, and then after the show, we, you know, in Cambridge, you would like go to Cheapo Records, or there's like a bunch of bar and restaurant places you could go, or go to Veggie Galaxy or something like that, like, or Tasty Burger. There was all these fun things to do, you know, there's all these different places to see, things to do. And so it was like a whole experience, and the concert was just the catalyst to have that experience. And a lot of that was because we were buying and selling tickets to these shows. And so, you know, people had, you know, it was like you bought a ticket, you like set an alarm in your phone or wrote it on your fridge or something that you were going to go. And it's like, nobody wants to go to a show by themselves. So it's like, if you're the first one to buy the ticket, now you're trying to encourage 2 or 3 other people to go, and you're going to drive them because you're already going. It's like, bro, we can all carpool. Just get your own ticket and we'll roll together or whatever. Or you buy 2 tickets and you hope that you find a friend who's going to want to go with you. But like, I sincerely think that that is part of what's going to help us make concerts a more exciting and a more sustainable thing again, is getting people to develop an etiquette of getting tickets because of all the shit that I just said.
I have a friend that goes to a lot of shows because she knows I'm going to the show.
Yeah. You listening to the pod tonight?
Yep. Playing Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say she's been quiet in the chat. It makes sense.
She's always watch. She supports.
She doesn't want me to
support you.
She doesn't want me to grill her about Twilight Zone episodes.
And I think that's why she was happy this was in Cody's Central episode and not a film club episode.
Oh, she popped in the chat. Shout out to Jess. And thank you, Mike, for that. I appreciate that. I just think that's a thing, is like, you know, like, trust me, like, I come from punk rock culture and like hardcore culture and shit. I love showing up at the door, paying a cover, and just walking in. You decide that day if you're going to go to the show, you know, whatever, you make a thing of it. But like, a lot of people have stopped going to shows because their fear is that nobody else is going to be there. Nobody wants to go to an empty show. People get bummed out when they go to support their friend and there's 12 people in a 70-person room, or there's 20 people in a 200-person room, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, as musicians, we all just are trying to get the gig. We're trying to land an opportunity to do our thing, and not enough of us are trying to figure out what it takes to get people in the door and want to keep them there. And that's like my big thing right now that I'm trying to figure out, is like I feel good at keeping people in the door. It's how do we get them there?
Oh yeah.
Literally just right in the room with you.
What, me?
Yeah, is she right in the room with you?
Well, I mean,
I just saw you do this. So
technically, no, but yes. Technically, I'm in my gym and my gaming area, and she's in the living room, but it's a big open.
I see.
It's an open room, but it's not, there is like a wall, but I can look through like the opening of the wall and see her.
Dime Studio coming soon.
Working on it, brother. I mean, since we're talking about it, so I'm actually thinking about all of this going away, all this gym equipment, the fucking weight bench, because I pay for the gym membership and I go, you know what I'm saying, to Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And if all that goes away, I'm actually thinking about turning this large area back into my home theater.
That's dope.
So like where the walls that I'm using right now to reflect all the lighting, that's how I get the good lighting. That's just a big gigantic wall. I can fit, I already know because I've already done it, but I can fit 3 55-inch TVs across this wall.
Dude, I want to go to this comment that Mike made. He said, we're getting ready to do it. This summer is putting us on the map. Didn't want to do it early while establishing. We'd only sell 2 tickets in advance. And so I can definitely understand that. And I don't blame you for waiting on getting a ticketing platform set up, because it does take some work. And, you know, so it's like there's some steps that you can do. So I get that. But however, what I want to say though is selling 2 tickets in advance is so much better than than you could think on paper, right? Because especially like you're a prime example. So as we mentioned, Mike is the owner of the Spot, and so the Spot is, I think, like close to 100 cap room, if I'm not mistaken, like 100 standing, something in that vicinity. And
I'm
so
actually curious about that. What the number is.
So say you did only sell 2 pre-sale tickets, right? It's 2 of your friends that you just know are going to be there, so they support you and they buy those 2 pre-sales. Now you just pretty much locked in 2 drink sales as well. So you got the revenue for the show and the revenue for the drink. If those people are like any of us, now those 2 people, they're going to probably try and find 2 other people to either go with them or meet them there, because shit like that is more fun when you have people to spend time with. And so now you've brought 2 more people who, even if they don't get their pre-sale ticket, now they're going to pay at the door, so they're going to pay more money and they're going to buy food and drinks and stuff like that. And so don't ever be intimidated by the quantity, because like, dude, I sell tickets to my own like Cody Pope shows that I do, you know, that when we do a Done Booking Presents Cody Pope thing, oftentimes I'm selling tickets on the Hellhound Publishing ticketing platform, and you'd be surprised the times that I've sold 13 tickets to a show that 50 people end up coming out to, or whatever the case is, you know, or you sell 7 tickets to a show that 30 something people come out to. And a lot of that is because the people that the people that get the tickets and save the money are now trying to convince other people to go with them to experience whatever it is that they're going to check out. And so that's the reason even if your tickets are cheap, right? Even if you're doing an event that's a $5 cover, give me the option to pay ahead of time. It's $5 if you pay ahead of time, but it's $10 than if you show up the night of, you know what I mean? And so something like that, it's like I'll pay $5. I'll use my Apple Pay, get my ticket for $5, and now I got to write it on my whiteboard, and I'll be there, and I'll probably hit up Danny and see what he's up to that night. And you know, like I might, if it's a $5 ticket, I might just buy 2 of them ahead of time. Be like, I got an extra ticket. You want to roll with me? You know what I mean? But that's the thing, is not enough people that I know in like the music space in particular utilize ticketing enough and utilize merchandising enough. Merchandising is a whole other thing that I could get into, but I know I've like taken this really far from a Twilight Zone episode now. But
no, we hit the Twilight Zone. What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Should just chop off the rest of this and put it on Patreon after it's done. But I'm saying, for real, ticketing and merchandising are the 2 things. If you're an artist, a venue, a business, whatever the case may be, I can't stress enough how important those 2 things are to just solidifying your brand, because tickets are a part of legitimizing the experience as well, right? If you're bringing friends and family that don't go to concerts or aren't a part of that, like, or don't go to shows, right? Maybe they go to a concert once or twice a year. They'll go see, you know, Jimmy Buffett and the Snuffets down at the Huffet, sponsored by Pizza Hut or something, but they don't go to like shows. They're not going to go to some small like club or dive bar or a lounge or whatever the case may be. So you just tell them, hey, I'm playing a show in downtown Nashua, for example, and you can get tickets at this website, and there's only so many tickets available. And now these random like concert dwellers that don't go to small shows, getting a ticket is their community. I mean, is their currency. You know what I mean? They buy they buy tickets all the time. So now it's not about the size, stature, space of the venue or whatever the case may be. It's about just this experience. They're charging a ticket for the experience. And so it comes with setting a precedent. Mike said, watch your mouth. I'm a parrot.
I'm a parrot head.
Sorry, I have no beef with Jimmy Buffett. It just was a fun name to say at the time.
Well, the thing about pre-buying your ticket is that you create like an event for yourself. You bought the ticket, you created almost, you're like, I've put this space aside to go do this event now.
Yeah.
So when you've pre-bought the ticket, you've kind of like committed yourself to going to it because you've already spent the money. You don't want to waste the money. So you've committed to yourself to this event now.
Yeah.
So pre-buying the ticket just helps also creates like the experience, the opportunity for the experience, because now you know that you're going.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what a trip, man. This was fun.
Oh, definitely a trip, brother.
Thank you to everybody that so yeah, if we didn't stress that enough, go buy your tickets to shows, please, especially mine. That would be swell.
I just want to point something out.
Yeah.
It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes and the camera hasn't shut off once.
Well, don't jinx us now.
No, I'm just saying this fan makes that much of a difference. That's how I take it.
If you guys watch the episode of Film Club tomorrow, we have a couple random camera outages, but the conversation keeps going. And we had a mic outage, but Danny did some Gorilla Glue on it and seemed to salvage it. So we're gonna fix the upload. That is oh dude, Mike said come early Wednesday and help me set up a ticketing link. I absolutely will. We love you too, Mike. Anything that we can do to help you, you already know we'll make it happen. And so yeah, that's you guys come if you're watching this with us, pull up a new episode of Hellhound Film Club airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Wednesday, we're screening Godzilla 1998 for free at the Spot live downtown at 7 p.m. And all the shows and all the tickets for those shows can be found at cody-pope.com. You guys have been the best. Thank you so much for sticking around for us for this whole stream. Let us know in the comments if you guys like these unhinged, no time limit fucking chaos streams, or if you're, kind of like we were talking about last week. We're still trying to figure out what the format's going to be, and we're going to be open to alternating the format. We'll still bring guests on and do interviews and shit like that, but I really enjoy doing these kind of episodes too.
See, I think even when we bring the guest on, they still got to be unhinged. The funny thing is we have like some kind of a formula for like our first hour. And then after that, we don't have a formula anymore. And then we just get to do whatever we want to do. Yeah. And then that's where all the good content comes in. I'm not saying that the first hour isn't good content. It's just the unhinged shit starts happening. And that's where we just, do our thing. And we just, our own personality comes out and we get to be a little more, nugget fugget kind of things.
I guess we're going to go off on the rails on the crazy train.
I'm okay with the rails. True.
All right, guys. We are going to tap out, though. We appreciate everybody rocking with us tonight. We love you guys so much. Tune into the new episode of Film Club tomorrow night at 8 p.m. live right here on the YouTube channel on either Hellhound Publishing or Hellhound Film Club. Join us Wednesday, live screening of Godzilla 1998 at the Spot. Get your tickets to shows now. More dates coming up everywhere. And that's it. We're leaving too, Mike. Everybody get home safe. Ride the internet highway as safe as possible, and don't forget to dial up. Preach, homies.
Cody Central is written and produced by Cody Pope for Hellhound Publishing. If you'd like to sponsor the program and have your brand, podcast, or service featured, learn more about that today at www.hellhoundpublishing.com/Cody-Central. Additional ways to support the program include purchasing music, joining our Patreon for exclusive content, or simply donating at any of the links available in the QR codes above.
I certainly feel sorry for you.